The day a bully became my best friend. An unexpected apology. High school hallways can feel like battlegrounds. For me, every day was a war I never signed up for. The lockers slammed like gunfire, whispers turned into daggers, and at the center of it all stood Ryan Cooper, the boy who made my teenage years a living nightmare. Ryan wasn't just another kid throwing insults. He was relentless. Every morning, I dreaded walking past him. His smirk, his cruel laughter, the way he made me feel small in front of everyone. It carved deep scars I thought would never heal. I remember the first time he humiliated me in the cafeteria. I had just sat down with my lunch when Ryan came over, grabbed my tray, and dumped it onto the floor. "Oops," he said, loud enough for the whole room to laugh. That was the start of years of torment, shoves in the hallway, stolen homework, constant insults about the way I looked, the way I talked, even the way I walked. Back then, I started believing that maybe he was right, that maybe I really was worthless. Years passed, but those memories never faded. I graduated, moved to another city, built a quiet life for myself as a graphic designer. I had a few close friends, a decent apartment, and a routine that kept me safe. But the echoes of high school still followed me. Every time someone raised their voice, I flinched. Every time someone laughed behind my back, my stomach twisted. The shadow of Ryan Cooper lingered over me like a ghost I couldn't exorcise. Then one rainy evening, fate decided to play a strange game. I stopped at a small coffee shop on my way home from work. The place was nearly empty, except for a man sitting by the window, head in his hands, a half-finished cup in front of him. I almost didn't recognize him. His shoulders were slumped, his eyes tired, his face older but still familiar. Ryan Cooper. My breath caught in my throat. Part of me wanted to turn around and walk out before he saw me. After all these years, why invite old pain back into my life? But something kept my feet rooted to the floor. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was the chance to finally face the person who had haunted my teenage years. I ordered my coffee, and before I could second-guess myself, walked over to his table. Ryan looked up, eyes widening as he recognized me. "Alex?" he said softly, as if he wasn't sure I was real. I nodded stiffly. "Yeah, it's me." He gestured to the chair across from him. "Please, sit." My heart pounded as I lowered myself into the seat. We sat in silence for a long moment before he finally spoke. "I don't expect you to stay," he said, voice trembling. "But I need to say something I should have said a long time ago. I'm sorry." At first I thought I'd misheard him. Ryan Cooper, the boy who made my life hell, was apologizing. My fists clenched under the table as a wave of old anger rose inside me. "Sorry?" I said, my voice shaking. "Do you even know what you did to me?" Ryan nodded, his eyes glassy. "I know. Every shove, every insult, every time I made you feel less than human. I remember all of it, and I hate myself for it. I was a kid drowning in my own chaos. My dad was violent, my home was a nightmare, and I took it out on you because you were kind, and I knew you wouldn't fight back. It made me feel powerful when I felt powerless." His voice cracked, and for the first time, I saw not the bully who tormented me, but a broken man weighed down by his past. We talked for hours that night. Ryan told me about his life after high school, failed jobs, failed relationships, therapy sessions where he slowly peeled back the layers of anger and hurt he'd buried for years. He confessed that he'd thought about me often, about the pain he caused, and wondered if I hated him as much as he hated himself. I listened, torn between anger and something I didn't want to admit, understanding. Nothing could erase what he did. No apology could give me back those stolen years of peace. But sitting across from Ryan, I saw a man trying desperately to make things right. When we finally left the cafe, the rain had stopped, but my heart still felt stormy. Ryan looked at me, hesitant. "I don't expect forgiveness tonight, maybe never, but thank you for listening." Weeks passed before I agreed to meet him again. Over lunch, over coffee, slowly, painfully, we started talking. Not as bully and victim, but as two flawed human beings. Ryan didn't make excuses. He didn't ask me to forget. He just kept showing up, proving through actions that he wasn't the boy he used to be. One afternoon, we sat on a park bench watching the sun dip below the horizon. Ryan stared at the ground. "I think about it every day," he said quietly. "The things I said to you, the way I hurt you, I wish I could go back and protect you from me." My throat tightened. "You can't change the past," I said. "I know," he replied, "but I can spend the rest of my life trying to be better." That was the first time I felt something crack inside me. Not hatred, not even forgiveness yet, just the possibility of letting go. Months later, we ran into an old classmate at the grocery store. He looked at Ryan, then at me, smirking. "Wow, the king of bullies hanging out with his favorite victim?" Guess hell finally froze over. My heart pounded, waiting for Ryan to laugh it off like he used to. But instead, he turned to the guy and said firmly, "I'm not proud of who I was. Alex deserved better than how I treated him. If you think it's funny, that's on you, but I've changed." The old classmate walked away, stunned. For the first time, I believed Ryan's change was real. A year after that first apology, Ryan asked me to meet him at our old high school. We sat on the bleachers, the empty field stretching out in front of us. "You know," he said quietly, "that night at the cafe, you gave me something I didn't think I deserved. A chance to be human again. I'd hated myself for so long, thought I'd ruined any chance of being a good man. But you showed up, you listened, you gave me hope." His voice broke, and tears stung my eyes. For so many years, I dreamed of revenge, of seeing Ryan suffer the way I did. But here he was, suffering enough for a lifetime, and instead of triumph, I felt something unexpected: compassion. We hugged that night, not as bully and victim, but as two broken souls choosing to heal together. Forgiveness didn't erase the past. It didn't make the hurt okay, but it freed us both from carrying the weight of old pain. Ryan and I are friends now, not perfect friends, not without shadows of what once was, but real friends. We laugh, we talk, we make new memories that slowly wash away the bitterness of old ones. And if there's one thing I've learned from this unlikely friendship, it's this. Sometimes the greatest victories aren't about winning or getting even. They're about healing. They're about choosing compassion over hatred. They're about proving that even the ugliest stories can have beautiful endings, if we're brave enough to let forgiveness in.